So let us go back to that and recite some more things that Trump said. I've condemned neo-Nazis. I've condemned many different groups, but not all of those people were neo-Nazis. Believe me, not all of those people were white supremacists by any stretch. That is throwing gasoline on a match. Or match on a gasoline. Drive-bys cannot abide. They think that's insane. Think it's absolutely crazy. Because, of course, the picture they're painting is not only was everybody at the march in Charlottesville a racist neo-Nazi pig, everybody that voted for Trump is too. Trump said, this week it's Robert E. Lee. I noticed that Stonewall Jackson statue is coming down. I wonder, is it George Washington next week? Is it Thomas Jefferson the week after? You really do have to ask yourself, when does it stop? Exactly right. And in fact, it is Thomas Jefferson. They're trying to shut down the University of Virginia now. They're trying to shut down Monticello. They're trying to go after George Washington. We got the stories in the stack today. They want to go after George Washington. When you want to go after folks, this is not about going after George Washington or Thomas Jefferson. These people are targeting the United States of America as founded. And it's not about slavery. That's the vehicle. That's where they think they can get all kinds of them. Nobody wants to stand up for slavery. Nobody wants to speak positively of slavery. So you go after slavery and you're going to automatically have massive numbers of people agree with you. Much easier to tell people you've got to get rid of our slave past than to say we want to transform this country into something it was never intended to be. If that's what they told you they were going to do, you wouldn't be supporting him, just like you wouldn't have elected Obama if he had told you what his actual agenda was. And I don't discount Obama and elements of his administration being involved in all of this. This is Community Organizing 101, what you're watching here. This is Saul Alinsky-ism on parade. Being portrayed as spontaneous, heartfelt, loving, and doting, and for equality, and anti-racist, and anti-this, and it's bought and paid for in many cases. It is organized. The whole thing is organized. From the vagina hat protests the day after the election to the airport protests after the travel ban to this, it's all organized. Trump said, I think race relations have gotten better or the same. Look, they've been frayed for a long time, and you can ask President Obama about that. He's made speeches about it. Do you see that? Trump is saying it's not bad. He's not saying it's bad. He's saying it was just as bad with Obama. Oh, those are fighting words. You tell people that racism was just as bad during Obama. The fact is, he's not only is he right, he's underselling it. Race relations got worse under Obama, and the evidence is right in front of our face today. Race relations frayed deeply under Obama, and I, El Rushmo, predicted that very thing to you, and I have been vindicated as being accurate in that prediction. There was no way race relations were going to improve for a whole host of reasons. A, Obama could not, no president can, address the grievances and fix them. Number two, any criticism of Obama, and many critics would be valid, he's the president. Presidents always have critics. Presidents are never universally popular, but criticizing Obama, why, that was said to be racist. And so the charge of racism increased individually, personally. More and more people were tagged as racist because they simply wouldn't let Obama be Obama. And so frayed relations continued to fray, and they got worse. Because Obama did not have as his first priority redressing black grievances. That's not what his ostensible agenda was. He had to give voice to it, but that's not what he was about. And over time, a number of African Americans began to conclude or realize that. Their lives didn't change appreciably for the better. They still had the same complaints about bigotry and racism as when Obama was not in the White House. The claims, the accusations, the allegations of racism actually increased with Obama in the White House. You can't say it got better. What else did Trump say? George Washington was a slave owner. Was George Washington a slave owner? So will George Washington now lose his statue? We're going to take, excuse me, media, are we going to take down statues of George Washington? How about Thomas Jefferson? What do you think of Thomas Jefferson? You like him? He was shouting at the media. You're changing history. You're changing culture. You had people. I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationals because they could be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And the press has treated them absolutely unfairly. It's all true. Nothing controversial with that. You had a lot of people in that group that were there to innocently protest and very legally protest. I don't know if you know, they had a permit. That other group didn't have a permit. Oh, no, you criticized the left wing, the morally superior group, didn't have a permit. You can't do that. Trump did not say anything yesterday that wasn't true. He did not lie about anything, and he wasn't insensitive. He didn't say anything that wasn't true. And yet the media, entire reaction that Trump lied, Trump misrepresented, Trump's a pig.